What's up? Back in your... I need to talk to you about something, if you have a minute.
Sure.
Any day now? Caesar's going to try to march across Hoover Dam and kick NCR out of the Mojave. We're getting caught up in something important out here. Hell, after how you handled Benny, you're practically right in the middle of all this. I know I'm just along for the ride, but it's made me think about the past and how I might be able to help out.
What are you talking about?
I wasn't always with the followers, or with the NCR. My late father was an officer in a group called the Enclave, a remnant of America's pre-war government. Memories being short around here, not a whole lot of people remember them. But they did bad things. Terrorized communities, kidnapped people. Eventually someone stopped them. I was born a few years later at a military base on the coast, a place called Navarro.
Bro, I'm helping the Enclave. I'm literally helping the Enclave right now, bro. Where did the Enclave go, though, bro?
A lot of different places. I only know what I was told. Some of them were cut down by the NCR and the Brotherhood. Some of them went east. My mother never told me what happened to my father, but she and I went south with some others and integrated into the NCR. When the NCR learned that Enclave personnel had integrated, we kept moving to the fringes. It's one of the reasons why I wound up out here.
What happened to Navarro?
After the Enclave's command structure fell apart, it was only a matter of time before Navarro was overrun by NCR forces. My mother and I left with some of the troopers from my father's old unit, the same people I've kept in contact with over the years. Anyone who didn't get out was killed by the NCR. Even some of the ones who escaped were eventually hunted down by the Brotherhood of Steel.
Where are you going with all this?
The Enclave did a lot of bad things, but there were good people at Navarro. Good people with a lot of experience. Not many of them are alive anymore, but I think they can make a difference in the fight against Caesar.
Do you want them to help NCR?
That's a hard question to answer. I know I don't want the Legion to take Hoover Dam. So militarily, yes, I want them to help NCR. If possible, I'd like to figure out a way to help the NCR win Hoover Dam without holding New Vegas.
Fine.
Great. I'd like you to talk to the old-timers, the Remnants. I don't think I can convince them by myself. To them, I'm still a kid. But you're a big part of what's happening out here. When you talk to them, they'll understand how important this all is. I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me. Thanks.
What's up?
What's your opinion on the current situation?
Helping the NCR is better than helping Mr. House, but I don't think it's the best solution for the people in New Vegas. If the NCR can take full control of Freeside and the Strip, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Besides, even if New Vegas eventually gets representation in the NCR's Senate, it's not like the NCR runs efficiently.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm really very boring. You'd get better stories out of a Freeside junkie.
Okay, I'm asking you because I'm interested.
Oh, all right.
I'm not sure if
I'm
I did this
30-ish.
before.
Well, late 30s. I was born west of here.
I was an only child and spent most of my time with my mother. My father died when I was young and I never got over it. Oh, and I like medicine and reading books about failed pre-war socioeconomic policies. Right now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why hasn't some lucky man scooped this bachelor off his feet? Like I said, I'm boring.
I'll say.
Okay, you don't have to agree with me that much.
How did you join the followers?
Honestly, it isn't too difficult if you have half a brain and aren't a complete jerk. I wanted to help people and I enjoyed learning, so I signed up. New Vegas is in trouble, so I came out here. If someone doesn't step up and try to help the people here, it's going to end very badly.
Where did you get your medical training?
The followers taught me everything I know about medicine. Despite our humble abode here in New Vegas,
We have great facilities back in the NCR.
We may have overextended ourselves by setting up camp in Freeside, but the people here need help from someone. If not us, who?
Sure, just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
It looks like you took care of our short-term supply issues. In thanks, you can have a discount on medical services with me. Also, I would like to extend an invitation to join the followers of the Apocalypse. Your work here in the old Mormon fort has been invaluable, and I can't think of a more worthy recruit. Will you join us?
What does it mean?
Our aim is to gradually shape a better, brighter future for the wasteland. We seek to heal the planet through efforts not unlike the medicine and education we offer here in the old Mormon fort. All we ask is members and those seeking aid do their best to help those in need when the opportunity arises.
I can't help your people right now.
That is unfortunate. If you change your mind, please see me right away.
Still.
What is it?
I'm here about the letter.
Oh, it's you. I pictured you differently, you know? I'm so glad you decided to meet with me. The letter gave a generalized view of what I'm trying to accomplish, but I'll give you some specifics. With the Syndicate gone, the fiends are relying strictly on the cons for their drugs, which means an uneven supply and price gouging. This has a twofold effect. Some fiends are becoming more radical in an attempt to finance their habit, while others are trying to get clean. What I'd like to do, with your help, is to build a clinic near Westside that would offer rehabilitation services for the fiends. We would also like to provide medical services to Westside residents, and host a halfway house for former fiends trying to reintegrate into society. Over time, I believe that we can whittle away at the fiends' ranks. Of course, this isn't going to pay for itself. That's where you come in.
Why should I help the fiends?
That's been the gut reaction of a lot of people, including some of the followers. However, when you stop to think about it, this makes sense. Let me put all my cards on the table. I used to be a fiend. I got caught up in it at a young age, and it almost killed me. When the followers found me, I was beaten, broken, and strung out. They pulled me from the brink, got me on track. Then they gave me an education. I won't make excuses for the fiends' actions, but they're still human. Most of them. The majority are just in it for drugs and the camaraderie. I believe we can save most of them with treatment. For every fiend we rehabilitate, we save countless bystanders who would have been victims.
Fine.
Thank you for this. We can talk money later. Right now, the pressing issue is the site for the rehab center. It's an old building south of the Thorn. I've done some checking, and neither Westside, the NCR, or anyone else has a stake in it. From what I hear, even the fiends won't go inside. When I heard that, it got me wondering. It could be tribal superstition or something else. So, when you get a chance, please scout out the property and see what's behind those rumors. It's probably nothing, but I just want to be certain. Good luck, and thank you.
This'll only feel like a tiny pinch.
Watch this.
Let's go, Aquaman. Oh my god. It's over, bro. Yo. Yo. It's over, bro. I'm telling y'all, it's over. The fuck away from me. Ah.
What is it?
The building had a rat problem, but I took care of it.
Rats. Those filthy creatures trigger my gag reflex for some reason. Thanks for purging them. But with that building secured, we can get to the real issue. Funding. Specifically, 5,000 caps to get this off the ground. Are you still with me?
I ran into a guy named Katie. He wants to use the clinic as a means to poison the fiends.
Katie? That butcher is here? Jesus, I heard about what he did up north, killing groups of the 80s, even women and children. He's a monster. I knew the NCR wouldn't leave us alone. Damn them to hell for this. We'll have to find some way to deal with him. I need to think on this. In the meantime, we'll continue as planned. Do you have the caps together?
Yeah.
You're doing a wonderful thing for the followers, for this community. I'll begin the preparations immediately. In the meantime, you should round up our first set of patients. I know of a fiend hideout south of West Side, where a group is holed up. Check them out, and see if you can convince them to submit to treatment. Oh, and try to avoid killing them, alright?
Al, you better have some jet for us. Where's Al? Who the fuck are you?
The followers are opening a rehab clinic for fiends. I want all of you to check it out yourselves.
Rehab? You mean like quitting drugs? That's a good one. Are you fucking high? You walk into a fiend den and tell them to get clean? Sure, right after we get back from church. Now get the fuck out of here before the joke gets old. Fucking nut job.
Do you know what jet is made from? Brahman dunk. You are addicted to cow shit, bitch.
Where do you learn this stuff? That's disgusting. Alright, I'll check this place out, but I'll make no promises.
What is it?
I convinced some of the fiends to enter rehab.
I knew that some of them would be willing to get treatment. Even then, I know it can be tense negotiating with fiends for anything. With your funding, we were able to get the building cleared out, and the clinic should be open shortly. I'm heading there now. Please stop by when you get a chance, and we can see if there's any work left for you. Thank you.
Sticking around for the attractions?
Okay, they asked me to find you. I'm gathering the remnants.
Hello, Arcade. Making some new friends, are you? Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us?
You tell me.
Well, assuming our equipment cache is intact, my squad would have the edge in armor and firepower. There's only a handful of us, though, so the best tactic would be for us to swoop in where the target isn't expecting us. How am I doing?
That's way better than I had in mind.
I hope you weren't thinking we were going to take the lead. That's no job for a bunch of graybeards, or gray heads in Whitman's case. I'll be there at the reunion. Let's hope the others show up too, or this plan isn't going to work. Oh, and you'll need my part of the passphrase to get into the bunker. Navarro.
What was it like in the old days in the Enclave?
I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro. Nobody left except us remnants.
What happened to the Enclave oil rig in Navarro?
Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region.
I'd like to know more about your former squad.
I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary.
Alright.
Uh-huh.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years, and with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him.
That's their story, Arcade, not yours.
Oh, I know. I was only a boy when they went through hell together. I'm glad you're helping me reunite them. Even if I'm still just a spectator in all of this, I know they can still do some good.
I hope the rats weren't too much for you. Probably not much different than taking down the Syndicate, though.
Get out of my fucking way.
Slow down, Rat King. I've got some business with you.
What do you want?
My job here is simple. Kill as many fiends as possible, through any means necessary. It's a special assignment, given to me after my work up north. See, I got a reputation for hunting and killing raiders through unconventional methods. Some are hung up on shooting them, but dead is dead. Take the 80s, for example. Bunch of bloody heathens spread all over. I took down one of their camps by poisoning their water supply. That brings me to our business. I see that you're helping the followers set this clinic up. That's good. Real good. Westside could use it. As for the fiends, I have other plans. I've got a pal over in OSI who can hook me up with some altered fixer and jet. The kind used in rehab. I want to make sure this clinic uses my supplier, and that a doctor of our choosing is put in charge. Then we'll give the fiends their medicine.
This plan seems like it'll counter the followers, though. Won't they get mad?
What? As opposed to let them run amok? Fiends murder, rape, and rampage all over. And you want to talk about principles? If any of those pacifist douchebags and the followers feel so strongly about saving the fiends, let them take a mission trip to Vault 3. No, They're nice and cozy in their little fort, curing the clap and handing out suppositories.
You can count me in.
Good. Just keep on going with Grant's plan, getting this place set up. Once the clinic is open, look me up at McCarran. We'll go from there.
It's on the strip.
What is it?
Do you need any more help with the new clinic?
Yeah, I've been thinking about Katie. That ranger you mentioned? We can't ignore him anymore. Word has gotten around about his scheme. What the followers need, what I need, is for this ranger to go away. I believe you have a way with people. You can make him understand.
Wait, you're asking me to kill him?
I'm asking you to do whatever it takes to make him back off. If he goes ahead with his plan, it could kill hundreds, many of them innocent.
You know what? I'm tired of doing your fucking bitch ass dirty work. Why do I always have to do the killing, huh? You take care of Katie yourself.
I don't like it, but this is the only way to be sure. It's the best option for the people of West Side. Look, I understand if you have your doubts, but the followers need you on this one. Do it and I'll be in your debt. Just think about it.
But running around with different faces or something.
Come back, Lily.
Hi. And it's actually really nice to meet all of y'all.
You should have heard Leo, sweetie. He laughed and laughed when that old man in the box exploded.
Tell me about yourself, Lily.
Oh, someone wants to hear Grandma's stories. What would you like to hear, Pumpkin?
Where did you come from?
I grew up in Vault 17. I never even saw the sun until I was 75 years old. That was when super mutants raided the vault and carried a lot of us off. Yes, Leo, I'm getting to that part. They made me one of them, and they put me to work in an army that was going to conquer California.
You were a soldier?
A spy. Sometimes an assassin. I killed a lot of folks for the Master. Yes, Leo, you helped too.
Who was the master?
Oh, he was a nasty man, dearie. You don't want to know about him. He was the one who made that super mutant army I told you about.
Who is Leo?
Leo is a very bad man, Pumpkin. Yes, you are, Leo. Don't try to deny it. He tells me to do things. Terrible things. And sometimes the medicine isn't enough to keep him quiet.
So he's just a voice you hear in your head?
You shouldn't say things like that where Leo can hear you, dearie. He doesn't like it.
Where'd you get that sword?
This old thing? Oh, I scavenged it off a wreck in Klamath. Leo showed me how to make it all ready for chopping. Didn't you, Leo?
Okay.
Is there something else I can do?
How goes your research for the Nightingale care?
Promising, but I won't be able to synthesize the drug anytime soon. I really should get back to my work.
Yo, Arcade Gannon has asked me to gather all the former members of the Enclave in the Mojave.
I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it.
Doc Henry always was a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans or dogs. He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea. The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed.
This work is what mattered to him.
Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world.
Yeah?
The clinic is open. I've decided to go ahead with your plan.
Of course. I've already got my man and the loaded drugs all lined up. All that needs to happen is for Grant and his crew to skedaddle. It's not unusual for the followers in the NCR to butt heads, but you need to tread lightly. Don't get bloody on this. Just scare him off. With that said, if you exhausted every option and he still won't leave, then do what you have to, but be discreet. Now get it done.
Maybe they can win this war after all.
What is it?
I'm going to enact Katie's plan for the clinic. You and the followers need to leave now.
What? You mean you're actually siding with Katie? The man is a thug, a fascist. Look at what we've built here. Why in the hell would I leave it now?
Here, I'll give you some money. Just because I fought with the followers.
I can't.
Help
This stays
freestyle.
between us. Maybe I can help some people with it, even if I failed here. Goodbye.
Turns out the NCR's...
Yeah?
I convinced Grant to hand the clinic over to the NCR.
Excellent. I'll send word to my man that he can get moved in. You've done the NCR a service, and we won't soon forget it. As promised, here's your due, along with an extra something. As for me, I'm off to California. Take care of yourself.
That's not the Hollywood wasteland. For California, it's uncertain if your path will ever cross again. Okay.
It's good that you're here, Courier. We have a potential situation on our hands. It was gonna happen sooner or later, but the Brotherhood of Steel and the new California Republic are confronting us with demands. The Brotherhood have an envoy outside the bunker, while the NCR have sent a negotiator to our outpost at Searchlight Airport. Seeing as you're as close to a third party as we have, see if there's anything you can do about it. Peacefully, if possible.
Do you speak for the Enclave? I'm here on behalf of the Brotherhood of Steel with a list of demands which must be met.
What demands?
The Enclave has been sworn enemies of the Brotherhood and committed various atrocities against us and the Wasteland as a whole. We therefore demand that all documents related to Enclave activities be turned over to us, and the leadership here face war trials. If you don't accept, there will be dire consequences.
Kill them. Kill them all.
Let the side of your lead.
Brotherhood's go.
Are you the person I'm supposed to speak to? I have a few demands from the new California Republic.
What?
The immediate annexation of all Enclave territories. The Enclave has been a significant threat to the NCR in the past. We can't take any chances. Return with your answer as soon as possible. What's your answer?
Would you be interested in renegotiating?
What's on the table?
I'm a friend of the NCR. You know me. You gotta trust me. The General is no threat.
True, you have been an asset to us. Fine. We'll have to take your word for it.
Lori.
Something to report?
I dealt with the NCR and the Brotherhood.
Thank you for dealing with that, Courier. Considering all that has happened, them confronting us was unavoidable. I suppose we'll have to wait and see how this all turns out.
We may be small, but we're still strong.
Fine weather for flying. It's times like these that make me miss it all.
Okay, ask me to find you. I'm recruiting the Remnants, and they'll need your piloting skills.
Told you everything about us, did he? Well, it's been a while since I've had my hands on the controls of a vertibird. There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly, count me in. I'll be there. My part of the passphrase is dear.
How did you end up flying vertibirds for the Enclave?
I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then. Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sins, anyhow.
What do you do in Novak?
I help folks strip down the more complicated bits of salvage they bring in. Engines, mostly. The bits and pieces we take out are usually worth more than the whole thing put together.
You don't have to do that more.
Watch your six out there.
Since my mother died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too. She flew him out on over a dozen missions, including his last. I've always been close to Daisy. There have been some good men along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. It broke her heart to be grounded.
It was an important part of her life. She should enjoy it.
As screwed up as it sounds, at least she was a part of something. Granted, it was something admittedly pretty bad, but it was something. If you spent the first half of your life flying Enclave troopers in a vertibird, I suppose picking over pre-war rocket parts doesn't quite compare.
Well, it's about damn time. What took you so long? Oh.
Oh?
I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now.
You sound like you're eager to die.
There's a twitch in my trigger finger. I've lost my eagle eyes. And the other day, I could have sworn I heard Sergeant Dornan chewing me out. I'm old and I'm starting to feel it. It's not pleasant, especially when you know your mind's slipping away. We all gotta go sometime, but I was hoping for something a little more heroic.
Who's Sergeant Dornan?
He was a drill instructor I knew. He was also the meanest bastard I've ever known. Once, he caught this private out of uniform and old Dornan went off on the most ear-blistering rant known to man. It was inspiring.
Arcade asked me to gather all the remaining members of the Enclave in the Mojave.
Thought I recognized that fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about then?
I'm gathering allies, just in case.
Yeah, the NCR and the Legion are due for another dust-up. All right, I'm in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is old. Appropriate, huh?
If I had to pick anyone who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew.
Why worry about it? You don't have to be your father.
I grew up without him. I'll always feel like something is missing from my life, but you're right. It's not like I'm the only kid in the wasteland who's grown up without a dad. Johnson always said my father was a good man. If that's the only thing about me that's like him, that's enough for me.
Looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving.
You have something against the NCR?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well. Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years.
Okay, now we're looking for you. We're gathering the remnants.
Been a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries?
There isn't anyone else around with your equipment or expertise.
You can thank the NCR for that one. Wait, this isn't on behalf of the NCR, is it?
I was hoping you want to take down the NCR since that's the plan.
All right, then. I'll show up at this gathering of yours. It might be good to see the others. Johnson excluded. Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is remember.
What did you do when you were in the Enclave?
Heavy weapons trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero.
What do you do around here?
Do? I don't do anything. I'm retired.
So what did you do before you were retired?
I was a soldier. Why do you even care? I came...
Alright, now fuck you. Alright.
What's up? Moreno took the fall of the Enclave hard. He never questioned his orders, never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left.
It's just who he is.
I suppose you're right. When you're part of something for that long, maybe it's impossible to let go without losing part of yourself. Moreno may be a stubborn son of a bitch, but at least he's loyal.
Dear old friends, remember Navarro. I don't like either of them, though. But the NCR it is.
Morning. Glad to see you made it here all right. So, who are we going up against?
How are you going to deploy your squad?
Moreno, Johnson, Henry, and I will be the boots on the ground. Whitman will stay with the vertibird.
NCR.
Then that's the plan. We're gonna have a problem with Moreno, though. He won't like that we're helping the NCR. You'll have to talk to him.
Will Moreno be a liability?
He won't turn on us, but he's a good shot, and I'd hate to do this without him.
We don't need him. If he wants to go, let him go.
I disagree. You're the one who wanted our help in the first place. You want us to succeed, you go talk to Moreno.
That nigga ran.
I didn't come all the way out here just so we could save the
my
fucking
God.
NCR. I'm out.
The Remnants come in gun blazing, showing the NCR how it's done. You actually don't want that?
I can't believe you've actually talked me into this. Fine, I'm in. But don't expect me to hold my fire if any NCR troops get in the way.
Bro, who is in my way?
Thanks for doing this. Getting them all back together again. I'll be honest, when Moreno started going off, I didn't think we'd all be walking out of there in one piece. I still don't know how this is all going to shake out in the end, but at least the Enclave can atone a bit for all the damage it's done.
You certainly done your part.
I've been wondering about Daisy and the others for so long, I still haven't figured out what I should do. I mean, I'm not like them. I was born at Navarro and my father served with them, but I wasn't really part of the Enclave. It seems presumptuous of me to think I could join the fight, even if this is a cause worth fighting for. Because I know when fighting breaks out at the dam, all hell is going to break loose in Freeside. They're going to need every doctor they can get.
If you're so sure it's going to be a bloodbath, maybe you should stay in Freeside then, Arcade.
I figured you'd say that. Sometimes staying put is the best thing you can do. I'll leave the fighting to the old war horses. It's what they were made for. I need to go take care of something before I set up at Freeside. I'll see you soon. And again, thanks for your help with the others.
Moreno's a stubborn son of a bitch.
Oh my God,
but
I
he's
can't
also
see you.
tougher than any of us. I'm glad you were able to talk him into staying. Since Whitman will be staying with the vertibird, she's offered to give her old suit of power armor to you. You'll need special training to use it properly, so talk to her as soon as you get the chance.
Okay.
The training might take several hours, so keep that in mind.
I appreciate you keeping Orion in the group. Since I won't be needing my armor, makes the cockpit a bit cramped, you should take it. It'll take a few hours to show you how to use it properly, so let's get started.
Let's go, let's go.
Like I said, I needed to go do something. This is it. It belonged to my father. I thought I might wear it at Hoover Dam, but after you talked me out of it, I didn't see the point in hanging on to it any longer. I'm here because of you, so I figured you're the one most deserving of it. It should protect you from everything short of a plasma caster. And if you need anything at all, you know where to find me.
What are you going to do now?
Back to old Mormon Fort, where I can do some good. We followers may be idealistic, but even I know this is going to end in blood. Fortis fortuna adiuvat. Good luck. And goodbye.
See you soon, too. Okay.